Welcome back to another episode of Photography Tips and Tricks, your show for gear, inspiration, reviews, advice, anything that's going to take your photography over to the next level. My name is RC, and I'm looking like a photographer hobo. I'm running around. There's a couple of things that I want to talk to you about here on how to be able to capture pictures in small groups inside of offices. And I'm going to do that in a second, but before I do, I wanted to bring on my partner, Mr. Pete Collins. I actually go shoot with Pete weddings. People don't know that. And it's one of those things that we kind of do to kind of mix it up here at Tips and Tricks. So he's a phenomenal wedding photographer, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about the differences in shooting styles when covering a wedding.
Thanks, RC. Well, a lot of times when you're doing an event, especially something like a wedding, you're going to want a second shooter. And when you're choosing a second shooter, a lot of people just will think, oh, this guy's available, that guy's available. But one of the things you need to think about is, what kind of shooting style do you have? And then can you get somebody that complements that? RC and I have found out that we have a great relationship when we're out shooting because we have different shooting styles. He likes to get up close, wide angle, right in the middle of the action. And I tend to like to shoot from a little bit farther back and zoom in. And so I'm able to observe and sneak those natural shots while he's kind of directing traffic in a sense and getting those shots that he wants. And so when you're looking for a partner, a second shooter, somebody to do these events with, make sure you take into consideration what kind of shooting they do and how you can both complement each other to get all the shots that you want.
Thanks so much, Pete. It's one of those things that a lot of the times people don't necessarily keep in mind, that there are, when you're building a book and you're building photography stuff, it is very, very intentional when you have like a big establishing shot and then you have all those candid shots. Combining both of those things, I think, makes for a great, great look inside of a wedding book. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I've got Jerry Ghionis giving us some more tips and inspiration, as well as I'll talk to you about what's on my back. See you soon.
I really believe that your photography is a reflection of who you are. In my posing class, you're going to learn a lot of things. How to pose a bride and bring out the best in her shape and her curves. How to photograph a groom, because many of us who may focus on the bride will ignore the groom. And getting your clients to mirror you. Mirroring, I find, is the best way of getting people to pose. I'm Jerry Ghionis. Check out my class on the fine art of posing at kelbytraining.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Photography Tips and Tricks, your show for photographic inspiration. Now, before I let you go, it's important to be able to note that this is all brought to you by Kelby Training. All of the people that you see here, Jerry Ghionis, Pete, myself, Joe McNally, Moose Peterson, there are a ton of people that are teaching over at Kelby Training. It's the resource for you to take your photographs to the next level. Make sure you take a look at it over at kelbytraining.com. Now, one of the people that I was really, really excited about working with recently was Jerry Ghionis. And Jerry has a great way of working with posing and modeling, but he's also really, really good at making sure that you get the best pictures in the not so best situations. Take a look at this tip.
Hi, this is Jerry Ghionis. Welcome to D-Town. I want to give you a couple of ideas and thoughts about how to shoot in the sunlight. Now, as you'd appreciate, we have a strong direction of light, and although we have a very beautiful bride and a very handsome dude here, good-looking people in bad lighting aren't that good-looking anymore. I do apologize about that. But let's see if we can bring out the best in you. The biggest problem that we have when we're shooting in the sunlight is people squint, they sweat, we get these really harsh lines. So obviously you would need perhaps a more attractive face, dare I say it, or more softer face, better skin, because side lighting increases texture, and now we can see all those sort of details. And of course the sun is going away, but I think by the time we pose the guys, the sun will come out again. So what we have to do, if you look at their faces, let's say if I wanted a classical portrait of them looking away, for example, we turn their faces to a point where the eye is completely lit. So if I get you guys over here, for example, okay, so that's it. So stay there for me. You see how the sun now is causing a it was causing a shadow underneath his eye there. Now you find that you actually see here that girls actually get away with looking at the sunlight a lot better than guys. Guys are sort of like, oh no, the sun, oh my gosh, no. I'm not saying that, you know what I mean? But you can sort of see how she can take care of it. So what we need to do is think of a pose that we can handle in the sunlight. So looking down, looking away, closing eyes and so on. So one of my favorite, what I call sun poses here, would be something like this, for example. So if I get you to turn around, go for a cute little cuddle, put your chin right on his shoulder, and if we bend his knee here a little bit, what happens is that is actually going to drop his height a little bit. So if there was a height difference, that becomes a lot easier. So her chin can go right on the shoulder. Now let's look at her eyes there for a second. Do you see how the shadow cuts across the corner of her eye? We don't want that. We want to turn her face to a point, stop there, where it just cuts across the corner of the eye. Now we're shooting on the short side of the face, causing us cheekbones, jawline, chin is up right there. Beautiful. Close your eyes, darling, and just relax your eyelids right there. This hand can go up a little bit higher. We want to hide this hand as well. So even if the sun goes behind the clouds, we're still getting that beautiful direction and quality of light. So turn your face a bit more to the right, darling, and breathe through your mouth. Breathing through the mouth just makes the lips look fuller and softer. We want to just soften that hand there a little bit too and bend the wrist. Perfect. And now we're ready for our shot. Just part the hair there a little bit. Perfect. And let's do it. 200 ISO, daylight white balance. We're at 2.8. We have this beautiful quality of light in her face. And again, whether it's the sun or whether it's filtered light coming through some clouds, it's totally fine. And we get a gorgeous quality of light. Beautiful. And now, very quickly, we can change the variation of the pose. Just whisper in his ear there, darling, if you can. Love that beautiful parting of the lips there. Beautiful jawline there too. Nice perspective. Beautiful. Fantastic. And if you want to learn more from me, guys, please visit kelbytraining.com. Thank you so much.
Welcome back, everybody. RC here. Now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this carry bag that I have here and how to be able to shoot with small groups. This bag is called a grab-and-go bag from Stanbagger, stanbagger.com. This guy's he's got a really niche company that deals with making great bags for photographers on the run. This is where I keep all of my small light stuff. So 2 speed lights go in here, 2 speed lights go in here. Matter of fact, I probably even still have a couple speed lights left in here, right? So that's an SB900. I usually stick another one right inside of here. I usually put 2 poles inside of here, plus my tripod. I've got some gels and triggers that are sitting there. I figured I'd talk about it while I'm here, right? But for the most part, this stick goes inside. It's a monopod, right? So this is an Oben CTM 2500 monopod. And this lets me kind of just get to wherever it is that I need to go, right? So I have right now an SB900 on it, and I have my DIY gels that I have right there. I'll talk more about those later. I think I already have in an episode, but if you guys want to see it again on how I built this, just let us know in the comments and I'll be more than happy to do that. This is what I use when I want to do single people, 2 people, maybe even close to 3, but it's going to be something that's a bit of a mess because you're not going to get the amount of coverage that you're going to want out of 1 flash or even 2 flashes. What if you sit in a situation where you need to cover a group of people inside of a room and you only have just 1 or 2 flashes? How do you do it? Well, inside of here, I'll almost always keep a pair of these guys. This is your Manfrotto 5001B. This is a really small light stand, right? Opening it up to flatten it out, I usually use like one of my bags, one of my camera bags or something to kind of settle it in. And this is gonna let me take this and move this up 1 section, 2 sections. Let's go ahead and just open this one. 3 sections, so I'm 5'11". 3 and 4 sections. Way off camera. So it's bigger than 5'11". So it's about 6, maybe a little bit more than 6 feet. Now from there, what I'll do is I'll switch off my umbrella mounts, right? So I'll take this off, and just for the interest of you being able to see this, I'll bring this down here. I'll bring this one down just a tiny bit. Now, I'll take this guy, I'll set him right in there. And the best thing for you to do is in a scenario, instead of pointing this at the person, kind of like that, what I would do is I would just turn this around and point up. By doing that, now I have one light that's set in one situation, it's pointing up into a ceiling, and it's gonna bounce all of that light back onto the subjects that you're working with. Usually 2 of these, I set one in one corner of a room, another in another corner of a room, and where they're oriented is almost always where the sensor is on your flash if you're using CLS. If you're using a trigger, it doesn't really matter. But put them nice and high, point them straight up. Now I can get and pop a shot. You're not looking for directional light, you're looking for nice, even light for everybody. This has saved my bacon more times than I'd like to count. So a little tip as well as a little gear showing right here on Photography Tips and Tricks. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I've got a website for you to take a look at as well as a wonderful prize. Stick around.
I can't wait to do this again.
Welcome back, everybody. RC here. I've got a website for you to watch and a great, great contest. The person that I want you to take a look at for a website is my friend Bill Picala. BillPicala.com. He is the head of Nikon Professional Services and recently published in a magazine on his photography on the road. This is something that you're beginning to see more and more, and I think is really, really nice. People that actually work for these vendors, I mean, these products like Nikon and Epson and Canon, but they're out there doing some amazing photography and they're being recognized for that. Now, Bill's an author as well. He's authored a Nikon school book. So in addition to author, now he's magazine published as well, and we could not be happier for him. So make sure you take a look at his website. You're gonna really like some images there. Now, prizes. This is episode 14. 14. Keep that in mind. You're going to want to know that. We're going to do something a little different on this. Let me tell you about some of the gifts. The Photographer's Legal Guide. Jack Resnick and Ed Greenberg have made a great, great DVD here to walk you through the legalities in photography, things like contracts and releases and things like that. So right now you can get model releases and copyright registration. So it's a 2-disc set from our friends over at Kelby Training. You also have Lighting for Digital Photography by Silverina. So Silverina is a phenomenal flash shooter on the Canon side of things, and his books do very, very well. So make sure that you take a look at this one as well. Now we have this. Let me tell you why I'm telling you this. Recently, I contacted our friends over at ONA, and there was a lot of talk about one specific bag. It's called the Brixton. This is a brand new bag, and I was just like, you know what? I'd love to take a look at it and show you guys what's happening there and then kind of give it a 30-day test and see what happens. Rather than just pull it out and show it to you guys, I wanted to just kind of let you experience the whole unboxing thing and see it, and then kind of come back and revisit it after 30 days and see, how did it do? Did I like it? It was beautiful to start, but was it as functional as I wanted it to be? Did it do the things that I wanted to do? So they turned around and they said, hey, that'd be a great idea. Why not? Why don't we take that opportunity to give one of you, our viewers, that bag as well? So I was like, this is even better. So on top of these 2 books, which we just talked about, we have the bag from ONA. Just came in, literally. And I was like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do that and put it on the show. This is what it looks like when you get it. I'll go ahead and open this box up right here. Very, very beautiful. Nice little bag. I'll go ahead and just kind of set this down right here. And I'll go ahead and open this up. Feels really, really cool. There's our wrapping. That looks really, really nice. I like that. It's a small, stylish, right? It feels like a waxy kind of cover on it, right? So that should be good for moisture. Really, really ample coverage. I love the fact that they have belts as well as clips. So I think that that's pretty cool. We'll go ahead and open it up. The inside looks really, really nice. I actually like it. Looks pretty good. Smells terrific. Anyway, if you know me, you know that I love camera bags, and you know that I'm really, really excited about taking a look at the Brixton now from Mona. So thank you very much, guys, for doing that. This will also be your prize. What you're gonna wanna do is you wanna go to kelbytv.com/photography tips and tricks, or photography TNT. You wanna look for episode 14. Make sure you look at episode 14. When you find that episode, scroll all the way down to the bottom and leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you think about Ona bags. Give us an idea for the show. We're going to wait for this contest. We're going to wait 30 days. So at the end of a month, we're going to do another look at the bag, and we're going to pick a winner. So there you have it. Now, get out to the Ona website. Make sure you take a look at that. Make sure that you take a look at standbagger.com, and obviously take a look at Mr. Bill Pacala's website. Next week, we'll go ahead and we'll have some more tips, tricks, and inspiration right here in Photography Tips and Tricks. Take care.